Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of
Another in the Fire.
So today we're gonna talk about a subject or a topic that a lot of women go through, but it's
don't
not
always say
spoken.
we're going through it.
We keep it in. We never saying what we're really feeling. We feel invisible. I don't know.
We feel unseen.
Unseen. There you go. Unseen. So we just wanted to talk about that, or talk more into that, and when we felt invisible, when we felt unseen, when we didn't get our feelings acknowledged or
ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're really trying to hold it together because you don't even feel acknowledged.
Yep.
So that's our topic for today. But before we get started, we're going to go ahead and talk about our week.
Yeah.
Laughs and lessons.
Yes.
Laughs and lessons.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So mine is just a little bit of positivity for the week. So these last couple of weeks, we've been dealing a lot with the flooding and the weather here in Texas. So in our area where I personally live, it got hit pretty hard. And I know we've talked about before that I am a couponer. I like couponing. And so when this happened, some of the ladies in our neighborhood got together and put together care packages. And a lot of the items that I have already in my closet were the items that were needed. So I went ahead and basically almost emptied out my whole closet, and it felt good to do something positive with it, to give back to the community in a time that they're needing. So it was a lot of fun meeting the women in my neighborhood and doing something positive in our community. So that's basically one of the highlights of my week, was getting to do that in the midst of a lot of heartache going on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I would go next. I would say that spending, I think it was a week ago when we had the 4th of July, when all of this happened, it made me, I got to spend time with my friends and family, and it made me, with stuff happening, with all of this natural disasters happening in Texas, it made me like appreciate and be like, man, God, thank you for my kids, that they're good, my family, my friends, like it just made me realize like how blessed. And it was a lot of memory. We had a pool party, we barbecued, and we just kind of got to spend time together. So stuff like that, or moments like that, when we realize like, man, God, thank you, we're so blessed, even though we don't have like everything we want or whatever. Not that made me kind of like core memories. Yeah. Like just spending time, and you can't buy time, these memories with your kids. Or we had gone to a parade, which we got rained on. So that was very much like all the girls, for my girls. I don't think they were that happy about it, but they were there. So
the husbands,
you had fun.
They weren't happy about it.
Yeah, so
we did have fun though.
Yeah, it was very fun. We did get wet. We did. It was just a memory of all of us walking sitting on the sidelines of the parade, and then walking to and from the car with the rain, and us all wet, and our shoes, everything. But so I think that's the highlight of my week. It's just not only that I got to create these memories with my family and friends, but also just realizing how blessed I am to be able to do this with my kids and my friends.
Yeah. For me, I got to spend time with my girls. That was really great. But with the flooding and everything, I'm completely in my feelings still. I get to hear the deeper parts when tragedy and crisis and trauma happens, because I am a counselor, life coach, mental health coach, whatever you want to call it. So people tend to call those people, right? Yes. So I've heard many different parts of this, and in the midst of it all, I kept thinking, while I was having fun, while I was enjoying, while I was doing this, all this other stuff was happening. So the lesson for me that God continues to show me is that in the midst of being grateful and real life happening around us, we have to remember that hope is not too far gone. So I've just been speaking to people more and more about hope than I normally do because of what's been going on, and answering questions with my kids and strangers and people in general about bad things happening to good people. Why does God tend to allow these things to happen? And what about this? And what about that? And, everyone trying to find blame. So for me, it's been a little bit more emotional on that level just because of what I'm called to do in general. So
because it is like the aftermath of the actual event. It's weeks and later and we're still dealing with it.
Yep. And I also, I volunteer for 988, and I had a phone call that somebody was so traumatized by the situation, wanted to take their, I don't know if I could say this on, but it affected them to the point where, and they were not involved. This is just somebody looking on and having guilt of why did this happen to them and not us, or we were in the same general vicinity. So it always gets deeper when life is happening like this all around us. So I don't know, it's been hard.
I know, it's been hard.
It's been like a roller coaster of emotions, like a weekend that had to be celebrated and fireworks, and then
at the same time those fireworks were happening, people were going through something traumatizing. And that part I can't get out of my head. Is I was doing this while this was happening to them. So I'm working through that.
It's hard to put into perspective and not feel guilty.
And people tend to have survivor's guilt. Yes, absolutely. So
that was a heavy one. I mean, we continue to pray for those families affected. We continue to lift them up in prayer, and our hearts are with you guys, and
that's true.
All right, to get started with this episode, so we're gonna talk about. We already said it. The first we're going to talk about it is, when did we feel invisible? We go in life sometimes that we tend to be like, hello, do you see me? I'm here. Come on. And maybe kind of reflect on when did I feel invisible? When did I feel unseen, or when did I wanted to be acknowledged, and I'm all like, but I did that, and nobody acknowledging it, and be able to realize that I do this stuff for with my heart, for not to get recognized by people, but my Heavenly Father sees it all the time, I don't need to be recognized, but I still
do it because
have
it's in your heart.
Yes, exactly, but I still have these feelings.
It's normal. It's totally normal.
You feel taken advantage of or taken for granted, especially moms.
I know.
Especially moms, because when you're cleaning up, no one is saying thank you. So a lot of moms typically have that already. So can you imagine being a mom and no one saying thank you and acknowledging you? But then you go to work, somebody steals your idea. And then you go to church or volunteering. Nobody recognizes the volunteers. I'm just saying.
True.
Because again, you're there because it's in your heart to do.
It's your right.
In general, people are not going to sit there and say, "Oh my gosh, thank you for doing this." Thank you. You have people that are appreciative of volunteer work, but I think, speaking on that, the biggest thank you is seeing the community come back together, the town come back together, the resolution, I guess you could say, of whatever you're volunteering for, the difference that you're making. That's the biggest thank you we can get, but we don't always think of it personally, other ways people thank me.
I think that's a natural thing to feel, though, is wanting to be seen and acknowledged. Thank you goes a long way. And sometimes we don't say it because we don't want to feel like that's why we're doing it. So we don't say anything at all.
Something that I've always taught my kids, going back to feeling acknowledged and stuff, I'm all like, I cook. I mean, obviously, because I have to feed you. But can you tell me thank you? Like, can you please tell me thank you, Mom? It was good, or thank you, Mom. You know, like something. You know, because I mean, I came from work. I'm here trying to cook you a hot meal, and I think it's there. I think I have more control of my kids because they're my kids. I'm trying to raise them right, and just say, hey, can you thank you? Can you say thank you? Can you like?
I've learned to get the thank yous in other areas because sometimes when I cook and nobody says thank you, but Layla will get up and get seconds. To me, I'm like, okay,
that's thank you.
That means it was good. Confirmation. That was good. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
So I do get thank yous. Just I give them to myself in other ways.
My husband's really good at saying thank you, and my kids follow suit.
Yeah.
So
I think my husband's really good, like when it comes to dinner wise, you know, he always tells me like, oh, thank you, but thank you for the food, or whenever we pray, he was just like, thank you for my wife, you know, but from the kids, I'm all like,
are you not grateful?
yes, can you please say thank you, or like, what's going on, you know? Like, so I think in that aspect, but this is just the kids.
Home.
That's just the kids, but what about at work, you know?
So I was gonna ask you, because you're a boss, how do you see your employees under you? Or the people that your team, right? You have a team.
Yes, I do have a team.
Because that's the other side of it, right? Like,
we want to be recognized by our boss, but you are the boss.
But you are a boss.
So I always try, like for my employees, like as a boss to my employees, I appreciate them so much. And I know how it feels to be unseen at work, you know, at any kind of, at our jobs, you know, like before me becoming a boss, I worked every desk in there, you know, and my boss, my previous boss was not that, I mean, I wouldn't say she wasn't that nice, but she taught me, she was my mentor at work, but she was hard on me. Like she was like hard, which I'm thankful for her because of her, God putting her in my life. She taught me the hard way, and she taught me what I was going to deal with, and I take that into consideration now. However, I don't want to, I love you, and thank you for that, but I don't want to be that type of
like
boss.
You learn what to do, what not to do.
You know, like, and I know they always tell us like chew the meat, spit out the bone kind of thing. So I was able to do that, and I'm like, I don't want my employees to fear me, you know. So I want to show them that the door is always open, and that I'm thankful for you, you know. So as a boss, I try to, you know, bring them donuts, you know, like thank them, or send them cute little emails or something.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, just because.
Not only that, but you also gave them a little gift, like throughout the years.
Yes.
Or, I mean, throughout the year.
So I try to do, like I did here recently, I think I spoke about it, like a couple episodes back about, I did like a mid-year reset. So I booked like a chair masseuse to give us like a chair massage, 25-30-minute massage, because we do accounting and it's stressful. So, you know, I always try to show my appreciation somehow, somewhere. Like even though there's a lot of noise in the outside of the office, but I wanted to make it like a safe place in the office and be able to know like, hey, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Or there's some times that we have to work late, and I'm all like, hey guys, I need y'all to push through. Can y'all work until we're done with this project, or we're done with these car deals, and I'll buy y'all dinner, you know, stuff like that. I mean, that's something that I feel like I want them to be seen. I don't want them to feel unseen, you know, and knowing or thinking that I don't appreciate them, because I really do. So that's something that I try to do, even though that they don't, you know, like say, I'm not saying my boss does that, like unsees us, but sometimes we can feel like that, you know, like sometimes we're like in the back burner.
Right. We feel like that doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And nobody's doing it on purpose.
Exactly. So I always, if I'm feeling this type of way, and I don't want them to feel that way, you know, because I can be vocal with my boss or my person, you know. But I don't know, that's what I feel like as a boss, I try for my employees to feel seen.
Yeah.
Because I have felt in the past unseen, that it was just a job. And honestly, we spend more time at work than we do with our families.
Yes.
So I wanted to make it feel
I'm the opposite.
like
I've
that.
learned a lot from my boss that I have now. She's actually really good at showing appreciation and gratitude, and whether it's a message or we don't work in the same town. We're like in 2 different towns working for the same company. So she does a really good job of like sending cookies or treats or different things, and I'm like, oh, I should get better at doing that for her. Like, I know I lack in this area. I am so sorry.
I do too. I do too. I do have to admit,
I think we can all
do too.
grow. We can all, because I can say that, like, I'm all like, oh, dang.
But
like,
in the same way, I've learned a lot from her of how to apply it and how to be better at it, because, I mean, it is something that I do need to work on, and I set little reminders and stuff of like, okay, her anniversary, her birthday, I mean, there's only really 2 of us in our department, so I can't drop the ball.
Yeah.
So it's put that pressure on me to like get better at this.
Yeah.
I think this month what I did different, I asked one of our payroll managers to get me a calendar of the national holidays, because it's not only like giving, it's also like, hey, let's have a potluck. Today is National Hot Dog Day.
Yeah.
Like,
not make it so
let's bring-
strategic and
Yes.
work.
and just kind of like have
Enjoy
those
it,
fun
have fun
moments.
with it. Yeah.
And just, don't want it to be boring or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's at work.
Yeah. I think outside of work, which I don't have a job, so I'm going to speak on the other part of that. So volunteering. If you have an idea and somebody takes it and runs with it, and it's like their idea all of a sudden, that really used to bother me so much, because then I'd be like, wait a minute, that's my idea.
I just said that.
Yeah, and I used to say that a lot, like, wait, I just said that. Oh, that's funny, we just talked about that. Or, like trying to own it again, like that's mine. But then I learned, like, doesn't matter, just let them run with it. Let them have it. That's probably the only thing they had to do.
The whole purpose was to get the idea out there.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to be mean, but sometimes that makes people feel really good, and like they need that applause, they need that, pat on the back. And I learned, like, okay, I don't need that. Let them have it. But you're right, the end goal. There's always an end goal. You have an end goal at work. We have end goals at home, right?
Yeah.
Feed the family. The family has to be healthy.
But
But it still kind of sucks to not, like, to be overseen and overlooked when it comes to things.
we're being real, y'all. Y'all wanted a podcast to say
really
the truth,
does
and I was thinking it, you were saying it.
Yes. I think I can also relate to that kind of stuff about, before I would say I struggled with that. I'm all like, you're only saying that because it was brought up to you by me.
Yeah.
But you want to go ahead and get the applause or get the
credit.
pat. Yeah, the credit, the pat on the back. But then it made me realize, like maybe she didn't grow up that way. Maybe it didn't, or that person, or he didn't. He needed that, or whatever it is, at the end of the day, I think it is the end goal. As long as it's done, and it's not only, that the project is done. I don't need that. I know that my Heavenly Father sees everything that I do, and He knows my heart and all this kind of stuff. So I can.
Okay, well, part of that was, did you say something or did you hide it? Because I said it.
I think I haven't.
In the moment, like before you learned and before you grew, like in the moment, feeling like this sucks. Wait a minute, that was my idea. Did you say something?
No, at first, I think at the beginning, no, it was hard on myself. I started creating this like
Animosity.
Animosity, or I started feeling like resentment towards this person, and I'm all like, no. But then now I speak my mind, but I was learning, I'm growing, I'm learning. I feel like now I do say something. Now I have a voice and I'm going to be heard. And if I'm wrong, correct me, or anything like that. But yes, before I didn't, I kept it all in, and my heart was getting hardened. And I was just like, because of somebody else, I allowed that to happen to me. I had to learn to not hold it or not hold it in my heart, you know, and have that resentment, have that
like not let it get to you because it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't let it get to me, but I definitely said something like, wait a minute, that's a lie. I said that.
Yeah.
I was very infamous with that because I grew to be vocal. Then when I became vocal, it was just to call people out.
Yeah, you have to find
that
lying. Again, balance. You have to find the balance of how you're going to...
That's my idea. That was my hard work. That, you know, like that acknowledgement was real back in the day.
I don't really feel the need, like even now, I don't feel the need to say like that was my idea or not. And,
well, not now. Let future. But, I mean, past.
No, even in the past, like
never.
And that's why I think a lot of people.
What about
like,
in your kid, like with sisters? You don't have a brother.
I was the baby.
Mom and dad. You never felt
nothing was ever my fault. First of all,
wait, but you've never felt like, wait a minute, I did this, or you know, like
sisters may tell you otherwise, but I was always seen. I was the baby, and I mean, I did got a lot of the attention. I got all the like, Casey did this, and Casey. So I guess that's why now, as an adult, I'm like, it's okay. I don't need the recognition. I don't need the pat on the back. Like my dad gave me enough. I don't know. Like I've never had that growing up. Even my sisters may feel another way though, because they may feel like I was that person to them.
Right.
Like, it was their idea. They did this, and I got the recognition for it because I was the baby and I could do no wrong. So I mean that. Not
even as a young adult. Did you ever feel like that?
No, in my first marriage, I got married. My first marriage, I was 18, so my young adult years. It was a very not good, not healthy situation for me as a young woman. So I learned to keep my mouth shut on a lot of things.
Okay, well, let's unpack that, because I feel like a lot of times people do feel unseen, even though they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the other spectrum of saying something is like you're not saying anything, and no wonder you're not getting acknowledged.
No wonder why there was no
kind of like, don't you see something happening to me? Can't you see it?
Yeah.
But you haven't said anything? Because I feel like in your situation, I would have been like, don't they see me miserable?
I felt like that at the end. Like nobody knew. And I've had a really good conversation with my family that, you know, people in marriages like what I had, or relationships like what I had at that time, get really good at only showing you what they want you to see, only allowing you to see what I want you to know what my marriage is like.
So you didn't want to be
I did
seen.
A very good job of covering up a lot of things to the point where when we did get divorced, a lot of people didn't understand why we were getting divorced. Like it was that covered up.
I get that, because early in my marriage with Benny, nobody understood when I blew up and, you know, opened up Pandora's box. Nobody understood it because they didn't see it.
Yeah, but I do have that feeling after. Yeah,
we did fight in front of people. I'm like, how did you not see me?
I thought so too. I was like, you didn't see me angry?
Yeah. Like, and people would tell me I was mean to him, but I guess I still hit it really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't want to be seen.
I didn't want to be seen.
You didn't want that acknowledgement.
Yeah. No, I got really good at it. And now in my marriage now, not even my marriage, just in situations like we were talking about, if something comes up where it was my idea and somebody ran with it, the only person I will vent to is my husband. And I'm like, that was totally my plan. I said that when we were talking about this, and this. And then everybody else, I'm like, you go.
Good for you. Good for you. Great idea. That's a good way of hiding it.
Yeah. And that's part of my past trauma of being so good at covering up that hurt, that invisible feeling.
I can relate a lot to that as well, because, you know, there's always this stigma that growing up, I mean, I had 4 sisters. We grew up. I wouldn't say I was the favorite. I was the second oldest, but my dad always went my way. Like if I wanted to get my sister in trouble, I would.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, so there was favoritism.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
If you're
her sister, comment yes.
So there is a lot of that, but also because I got pregnant, I don't know if I shared this here. I got pregnant. I was a teen parent, so I got pregnant when I was 14. Since I had my daughter Natalie when I was 15. So when I was 15, it's when everything started, like all this trauma. Not even 15, because no, it was 15. Because the father, Natalie's dad, used to like the same thing. You know, he would just do horrible stuff and do a lot of this stuff, and I had to kind of mask it. You know, like nobody knew it was happening. Nobody, like, even though I would go and be like, "Hey guys, how's everything?"
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect, but everything's fine.
Yeah,
you
so
know, like, because I didn't want to show. It was probably also pride.
And you don't want to worry your family.
Yes, and I didn't, because I think it was mostly pride.
Yeah.
I can say that because I didn't want to hear the famous words of "I told you so." But because of my pride and because of that, all of this,
You learn how to do it all the time.
yes, all the time for years.
Yeah.
And until I hit, I mean, I'm talking about years, because until I hit rock bottom, I would say was when I finally kind of like unpacked everything with my family. Like, I would say that's recent, like 6 years ago, when I finally like kind of unpacked, and they're like, "Why didn't you ever tell us this?" Or like, I don't know what it, I mean, I can say that that's a form of me not being unseen, or having to put this front, like, that.
When you're in her shoes, she didn't want to be seen because you didn't want anyone to find out.
Yes.
So you didn't care if people appreciated you or not. You were like, I don't want no one to find out, so let me not say nothing at all.
Yeah. But until then, whenever it was just weighing in, I'm all like, "Don't y'all see everything?" And then I got like angry with them.
Yeah.
I said, "I've been through A, B, and C, and none of y'all have asked me how I've been doing. Nobody is throwing like a life jacket at me. I'm over here like drowning in my tears, drowning in all of this kind of stuff."
See, that's that unseen, where you expected them to see something and they didn't see it. Yeah.
So that was very much like, I mean, I can say similar to what what you were.
And that's the unhealthy version.
Yes.
Which, we'd probably we'll unpack throughout the episodes. But, I mean, if it gets that deep, you don't want to say anything because you don't want anyone to know.
Yeah, and you hold it. I was holding it in for years, you know, until I couldn't hold it anymore. And it was just, I started feeling like this resentment towards my family or towards people or my close friends. Was like, are you guys not seeing what I'm going through? Are you guys not like, don't you guys see it? But I was so good at hiding it for so many years, or trying to be unseen, or not trying to be vulnerable, whatever you may call it. But
there's a healthy see me and acknowledgement, healthy version of that. Like, everyone wants a little appreciation, a pat on the back. And then there's unhealthy, where, wait a minute, I'm getting too much attention and I need this attention. I'm going to go about it the wrong way. So me growing up, my sisters, I don't care if they see this or not, they are horrible. They were always, "You're the baby, you get attention, all that stuff," which was never true. I think that what they thought was attention didn't realize was unhealthy and abuse. So they just used it against me and would always like, "You're the baby, you get all the attention, you get away with everything." You didn't realize what I was going through to get that attention.
Yeah.
So
why was I getting the attention? Are you not seeing what's happening?
Yes. So you're not seeing nothing at this point.
Yeah.
So I think that when people feel unseen, they can also become jealous or competitive or dismissive of other things. So healthy versus unhealthy, like what's healthy and what's not healthy.
Yeah.
How much do we really want to be seen? Because if it starts to get to be real needy, then it's unhealthy. And that's the reason my next point is we usually don't say anything because we don't want to sound needy. But we do need it.
Yes, I feel like, I feel
you should be appreciative without having to feel like I'm needy.
Like I need it to survive.
Yeah.
I need it to feel good about myself. Yeah, that very unhealthy boundaries
Yeah.
where you just, okay, you crossed over. Now why do you need it so much?
Yes.
And why are you backstabbing people or talking about people
Yeah.
because you want to be seen, or stealing ideas? Maybe it's not so
Yes.
deep. Maybe it's just stolen ideas. But those are still things that we have to look at as women, like, okay, why do I want to be seen?
I would say related with confidence. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're not confident enough in yourself to be able to, you know, not need, you're like, I don't need that pat on the back because I know what I can offer, what I can give, or, you know, like what, or whatever the case may be. But whenever you feel this way, you know, it's like a self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Like where am I, if I'm lacking confidence, where am I lacking this, and how
And
I can
why?
grow my confidence to
Yeah.
be able not needing that, because I feel like I went through that, like, and I've spoken before, like, about me saying, like, where am I at my job, or the position that was offered to me prior my new job, you know, like, or anything. I was just like, I felt really unseen there because I felt like I wasn't qualified. Like I was doing it myself, but my confidence was very low.
Yeah.
You know, once I was able to build myself and go back some time back and focus on myself and say like, why am I feeling this way? I realized I'm all like, man, I can run this whole office. I can do this. I can, you know, like I started gaining, and I didn't need people to approve of me. You know, like.
I think that's the important thing to recognize too, is not to mix up your self-worth with being shown appreciation and validation and things like that. Like, I don't want to be seen and heard because I need it. I need it to validate me. I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know what I'm worth.
Like, it feels good to have that pat on the back or getting recognized, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
But if you need it every single time you do something, there's a little problem.
Yeah, we can't confuse our self-worth with being appreciated.
Right.
Because that can easily turn into, like, now not just stealing ideas and doing things, but we as women, we're naturally nurturers. We naturally do things for kids, the home, things like that. So we can easily fall into this manipulation of our own self of doing things just to get people to like us, just to get people to appreciate us. Like, we go out of our way to, I'm going to say serve other people, because I don't know, doing for other people.
Or being the best mom, or looking like you're a good mom.
Because it's not to show what you're worth, it's because you want that praise, you want that appreciation. And I say we have to be careful with that, because we all know what we naturally have as our gifts and talents and what you're good at. I'm a people person. I'm easily relatable. People, whatever it is that you are naturally good at, we can't confuse those and start doing more of it just to gain people's respect.
What keeps coming to mind are overachievers.
Yeah.
So I know people who will go above and beyond to be successful or be the best, get that recognition because they need it.
Yeah, do it because it's in your heart to do it, because you know you can be the best, not because you need
somebody to validate you.
Validate
And
that you're
typically
good.
it's like a dad, a mom, you really want to like hear that I'm proud of you, way to go, good job type of stuff. And if you didn't get it, you need it more than ever.
Especially with today's
You're gonna become an
society,
overachiever.
like all the likes and follows, and
I was gonna
people
say that
thrive.
social media.
They thrive off of that.
Social
that
media is
how
lies.
many? I know.
I've talked to people who, my first conversation with somebody about social media and the likes and the loves and whatever, shares, I didn't realize this was a real thing. When they brought it to my attention, I really did not realize that. I was like, oh, I didn't realize you cared so much if I liked it or shared it, or, okay, so let me be mindful of that and I'll pay attention more and I'll try to do that. But I'm not good at that because I don't go to social media for that. So then the next time I had a conversation with somebody, it was borderline like, you must hate me because you don't. You're dismissive of me because you don't. And again, I'm like, oh crap, you really need that. So it just really goes deeper and deeper. Like, you're just ignoring my post, but liking everybody else's posts. And I'm thinking, I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm really not. I'm just not thinking on your level. So I'm scrolling.
I think social media puts us in a very dangerous place to feel that validation, and need it, and because it's visible. I can see it, and it creates something in us that we strive for it.
And then you just start posting things that you see
get the reaction.
People like. Yeah. Oh, they like more of this. Let me post more of this. And I'm over here thinking like, no, that's not healthy for you. But
I also seen like even like on people that see that, or like that's where they know that they struggle most. I know somebody that turns off the actual count.
Yeah.
You can see people like liking and hearting or whatever, all the emotions, emoji,
you can
whatever.
turn it off?
Yeah,
I think the number, like it won't tell you the number, but it will tell you like this person has all of this, but it won't tell you 34 or 100 or whatever.
It won't tell them how many you have.
Yeah, because I mean, people do struggle. Like now, it's a lot of it.
So they
social
turn that
media.
off so other people don't see it.
I guess so. They don't count on it. I'm not sure how it shows on their end, but they don't see like, oh, this person has 100, and why do I only have 50? Like comparing themselves.
That's why when I'm making a comment, it'll say the comments are visible to the person who posted this, or it says something like
not
that.
To everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's something like that. I don't know. I'm not all that about social media, but it goes back to confidence. Like it goes back to, or like
I'm still confused though. Are they doing that so it doesn't hurt other people's feelings?
Both.
I think. I would say both. Like I would say they don't want to. Comparison comes a lot. Like why her, not me, or like why.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
or
that's
if
a good struggled
point,
with somebody bringing it to your attention, they just turn them off so nobody sees anything of my likes or hearts or thumbs up. Don't look at none of my stuff. You just know that people liked it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
interesting.
Yeah.
That is a good point though. Comparison. If you feel like you're not getting seen, you're going to start comparing yourself to the other person.
Yeah, or like you always get like, and I think it goes back to surrounding yourself with the right people. Like in my head, I'm just like, hey, hear me out. Am I going crazy or am I valid?
Am I the problem?
So I know, like, sometimes I'll reach out to y'all and just like, can y'all just hear me out, And then even though if I don't like the correction or stuff like that,
I'm like, friend, you're definitely the problem.
And she doesn't like that, so she goes to her another friend group.
It's very much like that. Like depending what response I want to get is depending who I'm gonna message.
I know Casey's like, girl, I'm wearing my flats today. Who are we fighting?
I'm wearing my boots.
And Vandy's more like, no, maybe that's not what they meant. Yes. So she definitely knows who to call. So really you might catch me on an off day. You never know. I'm like, who are we fighting?
Don't. I'm going to be so confused. I'm going to be like, whoa, wait. So do we got to switch roles? Or what to do here?
We can't all be like that.
We can't all be the problem.
So going back to all of this and just kind of how do we fix it? How do we like and stuff? As of right now, like I would say that there's sometimes that I do expect. I think we talked about this in some episode in the past about like not expecting.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
Because then you'll get disappointed. So that's something that I was just like. Whenever I don't ask to be validated or I don't feel the need, but it feels good, like when my husband, like it really enhances when it's my loved ones, like my husband, whenever he says, hey babe, good job, or like, I'm just like, oh, thank you. You saw that? Like, I'm doing it unnoticed, but it makes me feel good. I'm like, all right, I'll cook you homemade tortillas again or whatever. I don't know. I'm just giving an
example. He says, thank you for that. So we do that more often.
You're getting a 5-course meal now.
So it's very much like, it depends who it comes from. Because other people, I feel like
it doesn't really matter.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Not that we don't care. We're just really confident in what we're doing, what we bring to the table,
Yeah.
that it's cool. You don't have to say that, but thank you anyway.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, as long as my heart is in the right place, I feel like,
Right. Yeah.
you know, like I don't do it for people, you know, or to get recognized or tagged or whatever the case may be.
I think all that comes from like healing and growth.
I think so, because I do remember that time where I did need it.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to confidence. Like, I feel like if we're needing that, like maybe it's within. I always think it's us. Like we have the power to change our mindset. Like it's us. Like it's not them. Like, where can I work on myself to be able.
Yeah.
I know while you're talking, I'm like, ooh, okay, God, you're dealing with me. Because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I do literally every day make it a point to tell my husband what I did that day in the house. I did laundry today. I made sure and swept and mopped the dogs. I cleaned their kennels. I did and I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm doing it for him to be like, oh my God, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Because you're at home.
Yes. Or if I'm doing it to let him know, these are the things that I did today. So when you're home, you don't have to do this. Like, because we are a team, and I am so thankful for my husband, because he helps so much around the house. I mean, there's only 4 of us in the house. Yeah. We all work, so we all contribute. And my husband does a very good job. Like, first thing in the morning, like we've talked about, I'll get up early, go to the gym, I'm out the door. He will get up, feed the dogs, let them out, do morning duties. That's his gig. Yeah. I know he doesn't like it, but that's just how our schedule works. And he may have moments of feeling invisible, and maybe I don't show appreciation enough, because, again, I talked about that at work. I'm not good at it. At home, I'm like, oh, thank you. But as you're talking, I'm hearing my own self as you're speaking. And I'm like, wow, every day I really do make it a point to tell him what I got done. And maybe that's the validation that I need, is for him to say thank you. So I'm not waiting for him to say thank you. I'm literally putting it on a silver platter and say, here, tell me thank you.
Like, you have something to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of has something to do with you having to stay at home, though. Like, but you're working. Yeah,
I am working, but I have that, and a lot of it back to the guilt and the thing. All these topics just run together. But I am home, so I have time to throw a load in, work, put it in the dryer, keep working.
So that's why you want to give him the whole, this is what I did.
Yeah. To just let him know I got all this accomplished today.
Yeah.
Pat me on the back.
Well, for those who cannot see what I just did, I gave literally a good pat on the back.
Patting me on the back.
But a lot of women do need that. Yeah. So, okay, what are some ways that women can get past this need to feel seen or heard or appreciated or acknowledged? Any of those words that we want to describe it.
I think for me, it comes down to my mindset of things. How do I get past that? It's all about how our perception is of the whole thing. When we don't talk about the podcast before, but we do put the topic out there in general to get our brain going. Mm-hmm. And when I was thinking about feeling invisible, I was thinking, do I feel invisible because I feel like I have to get all this stuff done? Or am I growing in my new role? Because we've talked about me being newly married. We're 2 years in. We're still blending families and things like that. And I don't know. Again, it's a struggle of mine currently, of feeling like, am I falling invisible? Am I falling into this role of okay, you're mom, you cook, you clean, you do whatever it is, that you feel like you're falling invisible to, or am I finding myself in my new role? Mm-hmm. So I have to think of my perception of, these are the things that I prayed for. Mm-hmm. And I have to be appreciative of them. I mean, I don't have to, but I should be appreciative of, I'm thankful that I have these things to do. It changes from I'm so mad that there's a pile of laundry to get done, or I'm doing laundry and I'm praying over these clothes that my kids wear, that my husband wears. Like, it really is, for me, the changing my perception of things. Now, I will share that because I know we have like a wide range of women listening. So one of the things that I will share is when I was single, I struggled with feeling invisible because I didn't have a husband. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a dog. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a fish.
I mean,
nothing. And you can easily fall into.
Oh, you didn't have a plant? Nothing, girl.
Nothing. But you can easily fall into feeling invisible.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to know if something happened to me? I live alone. I work from home.
Wow.
Like, you can fall into that invisible feeling of I'm just going to work, I'm going to the gym, I'm going home, but I'm not responsible for anybody, and I'm too old for anybody to be responsible for me. So I can easily feel left out of my family, feel left out of my friends. If you're not very careful in owning who you are in life, you can allow, I'll say the enemy, but everybody's spiritually different, but you can allow the enemy to mess with you to make you feel invisible.
Yeah.
So you would equate feeling unseen, we've already said appreciative, acknowledged, but you can equate that with people not caring.
Yeah, so I had to start getting active in my community. I had to join a gym, even though there was one available at my apartment.
Wait, repeat this. You had to, right?
I
Nobody
had
came to rescue you.
I had
Nobody
to.
seen you.
Nobody
acknowledged her. She did it herself.
I had to take action. I had to take the initiative because these are things that I'm feeling and I am responsible for them. Nobody fixes it for me.
Right.
I had to go out and join a gym to build a community, to build friendship. I went and found a church and I got involved in my church. Like, I went out and did things.
That's so good.
Because I'm in this season of singleness and I have to learn how to feel quote unquote visible
In your own life.
in my own way.
Yeah.
That's
Good. Really good. I like that you said that, though, that equaled, being unseen for you equaled people not caring, because I think that we miss that part where it really does go deeper.
Yeah.
It's not always just about acknowledge me, see me.
Yeah.
It's like they're empty inside.
Yeah.
We're feeling
Something's
something is missing. Yeah. So let me see. For me, I do recognize that, and I've said this before, being vulnerable is hard.
Yeah.
And having to be pushed into vulnerability like God does. Acknowledging those moments where I would have wanted to be seen and acknowledged and appreciated can only come from me saying something.
Yes.
How can they read my mind?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
That's
how do they
true.
know I need that?
Yes.
Or I would appreciate you saying thank you. I would appreciate you acknowledging that was my idea, or I did a great job, or whatever. So for me, it's being more vulnerable to be honest.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I come from a long line of that's weakness.
Yeah.
And that's needy. Like, calm down. You're so needy. You're in your feelings. And everyone knows I say that a lot. Get out of your feelings.
Get out of your feelings.
Which I counsel people to get in their feelings. So it doesn't make any sense.
But us as her friends need to get out of them.
Yes, on a personal level, I'm telling everybody get out of their feelings. But when I am called to do something and talk to somebody, I'm trying to pull them into their feelings. Acknowledge you have feelings.
How does that make you
It is hard
feel?
to keep up with me. Let's just say that. But being vulnerable on my side and being able to say those things is really hard.
Yeah.
It was very hard personally, for my own husband, for me to tell my husband I needed that.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a whisper.
That's what I was going to share.
I'm going to whisper to you so no one else hears me.
You have to get comfortable with sharing that with your spouse and your friends.
Yeah.
Well, and your kids, because when I can start doing that, or when I did start doing that with my husband and my children, there was a different type of relationship that came, and a different kind of, like, I can acknowledge I do need this to some level and some degree, and it's okay and it's healthy.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was in complete denial about it. Like, I don't need that. But I think I was a little bit bitter, like holding it in and not really saying anything, because I went from vocal to shutting down to vocal again.
Yeah.
Different phases and
learn
seasons.
where you need that pat on the back, where you need that appreciation. If you don't say anything and they say it in an area that doesn't matter to you, then you're going to completely dismiss it. Like,
yeah, because I don't need it for you to tell me, like, oh, great job, Mom, you washed the dishes. I don't need it for any of those things. Like, those things are supposed to be natural. It's my job. I'm saying that. I'm not saying it's our job as women. It's my job in the household to do all of that stuff. So I don't need to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
However, the only place I do feel like I needed it more was what I'm called to do.
Yeah.
For me, I needed that validation. Like, am I on the right path? Am I doing good? So if my husband didn't give me that, or my kids didn't give me that, I was starting to feel like, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Yeah.
Which
so
comes
true.
back to being unseen.
Yes.
But no, that was just them very used to me not needing it.
And our husbands are friends outside of us too, and I think they all do a really good job of, even with this, with the podcast, they have been our biggest supporters and validation, like rainfall right now. Like, they have been just super supportive of all of this. So
now that my husband knows that I want it,
he's like, you go
I don't
do your
need
podcast,
it.
girl.
I want it. Now I'm vulnerable and I'm vocal. He is really, really good in that area of making sure I feel like uplifted.
Yes.
As you guys were talking,
God's dealing with you too.
it kind of just reminded me, and it brought, like, whenever it took me to a point in my life when I was just like, man, that was like, I was really feeling unseen, like, and it takes me back to whenever you go through so much trauma. I was a single parent, so I went through so much trauma, and I kept on hiding it and hiding it.
As a teenager.
Yeah, as a teenager, up to, I got married, and then I got divorced, and I felt like I was in this hole and I couldn't get out, and nobody could see me, or nobody can help me or rescue me out of that hole, but, and it goes back to me being like, I had to figure it out on my own. I had to I was on, like, I didn't have time to sit and cry in that hole. I needed to figure it out, but not knowing that I was hurting myself more. And I started falling deeper in the hole that I didn't realize that I was in this hole deeply in, because I wasn't being vocal about it, because I was the strong one. In my family, I've always been the strong one, the one that, like, just will figure it out.
You were probably parenting the parents.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much that. Now that you say that, yes, I was first generation here. So it was just kind of figuring stuff out since I was little. Like, I was at age probably 8 or 9 reading legal papers for my parents, translating legal papers to my parents, So it's always been like, you're tough, you can figure it out, like all this kind of stuff. But then there was there was a point that I couldn't. I couldn't even get. There was a point that I couldn't get myself out this hole. Like, and I felt unseen. Like, I felt like I didn't have nowhere to run to. And I think as I hear you guys talking about it, I'm just kind of. It takes me back to that, and it makes my heart so sad, because I really felt unseen, and I didn't have anybody to run with, because everybody came to me.
Yeah, you're the strong one.
Yeah, everybody came to me, and I wasn't able to show my emotion, because, and unfortunately in our household, I come from a really Mexican family, so we don't dwell on feelings.
There's no weakness.
There's no weakness. You figure it out, sweep it under the rug, and keep on going. So. And it made me realize, and that's where I always come back to, like, the confidence. Like, I had to figure, and like,
you had to build yourself up.
Yes, I had to build myself up. But not only that, like, till this day, I go back to that moment where I wasn't seen by anybody else, but the only person that I was able to feel seen was by God.
Right.
You know, like, and I feel like he knew what I was going through, and he knew, like, and it was probably my own pride or whatever it was, you know, that I was just like, you know, God, if you are real, you know what I'm going through. I need you to take me out of this hole, you know. And even though I felt unseen from my family or from my kids because I had to be the strong one, I knew that, and this was prior me having a relationship with Christ, but I knew that there was a God, you know. Yeah. So it took me back, like, I was unseen by everybody, but my Heavenly Father saw me. That's right. And, you know, and he was there with me when I was going through all this. And he took me out of that hole, you know, because till this day, like, I think now that I've healed that part of my life, I can talk about it more, like, vocally to my family, because now I'm trying to, you can't do what you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. So in our family, we haven't really talked about feelings. Like, it's always like strong and like you can do it and all this kind of stuff and
facts, facts and receipts, but no feelings.
So it was just kind of like, now I try to, like, always make my family seen, you know, like, now I'm just like, well, this time in my life, this is the way I felt, and they're just like, what, really? And I'm all like, I'm like, you know, like, or even telling so my family, I love you, and they're like, they don't know how to respond, you know. But it goes back to that they can't do what they don't know. So I always try to teach them now more,
what
like,
you're learning.
That as I'm learning, I'm just like, hey, I love you, and then they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm proud of you, you know, like, stuff like that, you know. But anyways,
I'm glad you shared that,
that
though.
goes a long way.
Yeah, because you said what you were sharing with us right now obviously is going to help somebody that's feeling that way or in that moment, in that season of life right now. But you had said in that moment of your life, you had nobody to turn to, but God saw you. And God was there for you. And I'm glad you shared that vulnerable moment, because earlier, we don't say things to be petty. Earlier, when we mentioned, like, hey, we do things from our heart, because it doesn't matter who validates us, who pats us on the back. Claudia had made a comment, like, my Heavenly Father sees me, and that's all I need. This is why you feel that way, is not to be arrogant, but because there was a time in your life where that is all you had. So you have learned to be very appreciative of, hey, you know what? I don't need anybody's approval, because I know that God has my back. I know that He sees me. I'm not forgotten. So I'm really glad you shared that with us, so that they know where it's dismissive. They know where it's coming from.
And it's not like again, it goes back to, this was before I was married and before I had, like, my husband, and, you know, I had my kids, but I was a single mom. And I mean, we talked about this last episode, a couple of episodes ago, like, it's hard, you know, like, and you always have to be the provider. You always have to be the strong one, the problem solver. You wear so many caps, like, you do so much that you tend to forget about yourself, you know. And I would encourage every single mom out there, and can do it, or woman, single mom or woman, that you can do it. Like, you don't need validation from, and well, I'm just saying, like, you don't need validation from anybody, you know. Like, there's as long as your heart is in the right place, like, your Heavenly Father sees you. And
that all comes back to how you see yourself, though. If you didn't have a relationship with God, you wouldn't know how God saw you. You wouldn't believe how to see yourself and get yourself out of those situations. I do want to say, like, these podcasts are for men too, because men tend to get, you know, prideful and not admit that they want to be seen and heard and acknowledged and all of those things. But they do. Let a position pass them up, and all of a sudden they're in their feelings about, wait a minute, I've been here longer, why not me? So it goes for men too. But I wanted to say, on top of that, it's how you see yourself. But not waiting for somebody else to acknowledge you. So a lot of that was we didn't speak up. And I hear a lot of people saying all the time, I have nobody, like Claudia was describing her situation. But if she had learned how to see herself sooner, then she would have been able to speak up sooner, and she would not have felt alone.
Sure.
So people tend to get very bitter with, I have nobody, nobody's helping me, nobody sees me, nobody this, nobody that. When in fact, you don't see yourself in the right light, and you're not speaking up and being vulnerable and honest so people can help you, because nobody can read our minds. I think we said that earlier, like, you can't read our mind. You didn't know I needed that. And not being bitter if no one does, because it really is, it really does come down to being vocal about ourselves.
Yes, and exactly that, like that, you hit it right on the head. Like, it's exactly being vocal, like telling them, communication, you know, in any relationship that you have, you know, in any relationship, like, even at work, I remember a time that they had, before I got promoted or anything like that, in my previous job, like, they put out an ad, and I'm all like, I've been here for 8 years, and you guys can't give me that position. I know every single desk in here. Like, you're gonna want me to train this new person. But that was just me being bitter, you know, and I think by this time I was married, and my husband said, have you spoken to your boss?
Yeah.
Have you went in there and tell them to give you the opportunity? And then I'm all like, no, why would I do that? She should be able to see me, that I've been here for years, you know, and
I know how to do it.
Yeah, and she sees my work, and he's like, well, why don't you try to go in there? Yeah. So I did do exactly that. You know, I'm all like, because you want to be, I wanted to get promoted. I wanted to be seen. But if they're passing me up or whatever the case may be, I also wanted to know what I needed to work on to be able to get there.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of people won't speak up because of that reason. Like, I want to be seen, but don't tell me what I'm doing wrong.
See, and it's uncomfortable, but we've said it here on the podcast. Being uncomfortable is a sign of growth. Yeah. So I walked my little butt in there, not literally, but my butt. I walked myself in the office, and I told her that what did I need, that I saw the ad. And I wanted to be, what did I need to, consider for that position? And if I wasn't being considered, I wanted to know the reason why. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they offered me the position 3 days later. Well,
what was the reason, though? Now I'm curious.
They just didn't know you were interested.
They just didn't know I was interested, because I just had my Adeline. Yeah, I just had my
your daughter.
My daughter.
And it was going to be more work, more responsibility.
Yes. So she was trying to help me out, but I'm all like, no.
So if you hadn't spoken up, you would have never known that they weren't dismissing you. Mm-mm. They were being considerate of you. Yeah. Wow.
And then now, I think I was pregnant or recently married, something life-changing like that they thought it was a lot. You know, and then 3 days later, they offered me the position.
You see how far, though, communication brings us?
Yes.
They didn't communicate that to you, and you were bold enough to say, wait a minute, let me go and ask them. Yeah. And then you were told the truth, and it wasn't even about being dismissed or unseen.
Yes. Yeah, and
look how things can be resolved with a little bit of communication.
Yes.
So it all goes back to I had to build the confidence in myself to be able to go in there and speak up.
And I think all of these intertwine with one another. Like when we're talking about, if you're in this season of feeling like you're invisible or unseen, how do we get out of it? It's a mixture of speaking up when it's appropriate and not just talking out my rear.
Right, like how I said I was doing, in my past. Like what? Yeah. You didn't see me?
Speak up.
No attitude.
In a good way.
Yes.
But also having confidence. Like I had to have confidence in that, single time, nothing. I had to have confidence to put myself out there in the world in a whole new way, in a whole new life, make friends, get out there, girl. Like I don't know what it is that you're going through and why you're in this season of feeling invisible or unseen, but it's a mixture of healthy things that we have to learn how to get out of our comfort zone and start applying to our life.
Yeah. And don't compare yourself. Like, don't compare yourself to the person next to you. Don't like, oh, they're getting pats on the back. No, don't.
Yeah.
Comparison it's not good.
Yeah.
It's just going to make you more bitter, really.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, ladies. So
We're
if you're
wrapping it up.
listening, yes.
Yeah, it's already been an hour.
Wow.
It really does go by so fast.
We don't realize it until the end. So just remember, if you're listening today and you are feeling invisible, remember that you are seen, and don't put that on yourself. Speak up. I don't know, whatever it is like that you need to like either speak up or build your confidence, or a lot of things that we mentioned.
Be vulnerable.
Yeah, be vulnerable, and just remember that
you're not invisible to the one who truly matters.
yes,
Right. What we talked about too. We wanted to share with you.
Right.
yes, and remember that you are loved and you are noticed. Even they're not saying they notice. You keep on doing you. Do it with your heart, and just remember that like our Heavenly Father sees you, and that's all you need, girl.
I heard someone describe things like when God notices you or blesses you or acknowledges you or whatever it may be, however you want to word it, that those are God kisses. And I had never heard that before. And I'm going to admit, when I first heard it, I thought it was so cheesy because I wasn't in my vulnerable phase then.
That's a little weird.
But then when I started to recognize more and more, how God does see us, and then He does little things to acknowledge us, whether it's through somebody else or a billboard that you pass by, something to let you know He sees you. Those are God kisses. Those are Him.
Forehead kisses. Those
Like a dad would a kid, right? And then, so I love that people equate that to how He is our Father and He sees us. And He loves us, and we're not invisible to Him.
And just want to tell you, even if nobody claps for you, we're clapping for you.
Yes, we are.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know when it was a time where you felt unseen. Put it in the comments and chime in with us. Let's have a conversation in our comments.
Yeah, we are really loving the conversation.
Yes. And just remember that you are not alone.
You're not consumed.
Another is in the fire.
Bye.
Bye.